usually when someone is complaining, we think they're nagging us, right? We think they're ungrateful or they don't appreciate what we do for them, right? And to be honest, I think that's one way to look at it. But when you look at it that way, that's kind of a negative way, right? That's a negative way. And to be honest, I think it's a selfish way because we're only looking at it from our side. What about them, right? What about their side? If we asked questions like, why are they consistently speaking about this? Why does this matter so much? Why are they complaining, right? Like, what's going on that's causing this to happen? Is this something that they really need that bad? Does this matter that much to that person? And matter of fact, what if I did give them this? What if I did provide this? Would it stop them from complaining? Would it provide something that they need? Is this something that they actually need that much? I think that's a more positive way, a more selfless way to look at it, right? Instead of thinking this person's complaining all the time, but what are they saying to you? What are they trying to say to you? Think about it. A child complains. What are they doing when they're complaining to you? Are they actually asking you for something that they need? Are they frustrated about something that they're not receiving much of? Think about that. I think, and I know for a fact that complaining actually helps relationships. That's a fact. How do they help relationships? Well, for one, when you look at complaining and you see it differently, right? Just like what I just said, like at first in your mind, you're like, why they keep complaining? Oh my God, I'm not good enough for them. They feel I always do this for them and they don't appreciate nothing. That's a negative way. But if you turn it to a positive, instead of thinking what you're doing, instead of thinking about what you're trying to do and that they don't care about it, why don't you try to think about why they're complaining and what you can do about it, right? Instead of thinking I can't please them, why don't you try to look at it from their point of view? Because again, maybe they're expressing something that they need that you're not providing. Maybe they have a love language that you don't know about. Maybe they're trying to tell you something matters a lot to them, right? And when you look at the love languages, right? When you look at the love languages, because everybody needs love differently. And when a person is on E from the love that they are getting, they're gonna scream for it. Just like when us as men, if we want respect, you're gonna see something is wrong, right? With women, they want love. With people, we want love. We need love, right? And everybody don't know how to communicate what they need in an effective way. Like they don't know how to say, when this bothers me, blah, blah, blah. This specific thing right here, I need more of that because it makes me feel loved. Not everybody even knows this about themselves because they're not that aware. So everybody needs it differently. So just because you're giving them love doesn't mean that that's actually the love that they need. I know that's hard to hear, but again, just because you are giving them something doesn't mean that's what they need. And more than likely, if you don't know what they need, you're probably giving them what makes you feel loved, which in turn isn't the same for them. So they're trying to communicate what they need, but it's coming out in a way of complaining, which I like to say is really them expressing themselves. They're expressing how they feel. They're not really complaining. You got to see it differently. They're communicating what they need without fully, clearly communicating it, right? And I know I just spoke about the love languages. Even in the 5 Love Languages book, Gary Chapman speaks about quick ways to figure out a person's love language. And you know what one of them ways was? He said one way to figure out a person's love language is to pay attention to what they complain about. Why? Because when people are complaining, they're expressing something that they need, something that they want, something that they're low on. They're upset, they're frustrated because they want something that they're not getting. So they're actually like telling you the answers to a test. If we would listen to them, but we gotta pay close attention. So instead of seeing complaining as a problem, to be honest, it's really an opportunity. When somebody complaining, you could think to yourself like, all right, that seems like that really matters to that person. Because a lot of times people complain about the same thing. They don't complain about different things. They complain more about the same thing. So if they're complaining about the same thing, that means there's a great importance to that thing towards them. And what would it be if you ignored that thing that is important to them, that thing that makes them feel loved, respected, it makes them feel good on the inside, right? How would you be? What would it be if you ignored them? It would be bad, because you're ignoring love to them. You're ignoring respect to them. You're ignoring something that they value. You're ignoring something that means a whole lot to them, which is making them see you in a bad light. But what if you provided it? What if you listened? What if you asked questions when they gave it to you, right? What if they complained and you was like, you know what, my fault. I didn't know that was that important to you. Like, so when I do this, you're asking me to do this. But is there a specific way that you need it? Because I need to be able to, provide that for you. Because that's what love is. Love is an action. It's not a feeling, bro. It's not a feeling. Love is what you do for somebody, not how you feel about somebody. Love is sacrificing what you want for someone else. You want them to be happy? Yeah. Well, guess what? You need to do something. You want them to feel loved. You want him and her to feel respected. Well, guess what? You need to do something. You don't just need to sit there and be like, they should be loved. They should feel loved. They know that I love them. They should feel respected. They know that I respect them. No, you can't expect someone to be something and they don't see it from you, or to feel it from you and they don't see nothing from you. You got to put in work. You got to do something, right? Your child can't just feel loved from you just because you their parent. You got to make them feel loved. Am I wrong? Exactly. So you got to do this for other people. So it's good to pay attention when someone is complaining, because at that very moment, they ain't complaining to you. They're asking for something. It's just hard for them to communicate. And I know you over there thinking, well, they're grown. Yeah, but look at yourself. You don't even understand this. You don't understand this. I didn't understand it either. So you can't say that they're grown, because you should understand this. If they're grown, you should be grown and understand this too. I'm keeping it real. So you got to look at it in the same view. You didn't understand this. Now you do. Guess what? You can help them understand this. This is me giving you the cheat code, right? Because I figured this out too from reading that book, and I also figured it out from God. But here, look, when somebody's complaining, man, take it as an opportunity. Take it as this person is telling you what they need. And to be honest, that's a blessing. Because when somebody's complaining or they're upset, and then you're like, okay, I understand. And then you give it, guess how they're going to feel after? They're going to feel loved, respected. They're going to feel heard. They're going to feel like you paid attention to them. They're going to want to give you everything after that. That's how they're going to feel. That's what they're going to want to do, because it's hard for other people to do that. It's hard for other people to catch. That's not complaining, right? And I'm going to tell you something. I've been in relationships or had friends, even now, right? People will be like, they'll be explaining something to me or telling me something that they need or they want. They want something from me, right? And then I've had women say, well, let me stop complaining. And I'll be like, nah, you're not complaining. You're just expressing what you need from me. You're just telling me what makes you feel loved. Like, I don't see it as you complaining. I think you're expressing yourself. And you know what they tell me? They feel safe to be able to open up more because I said that. And now I'm paying attention. I understand that thing that they're talking about is important. So it may be hard for me to do it, but there's something called practice, right? I can practice this. I can ask them to help me as I practice. And when you practice, you get better, right? So you're not going to be perfect because you don't know, because they're a different person. They need love and respect probably differently than you need love and respect. So you learn from them. Love is learning. Love is not something that you already know. Love was here before we was born. So we have to learn this thing. It ain't just what we think it is. Love is not just a feeling. And you have to teach people how to love you. And we need to learn how to love other people. That starts with listening to them, wanting to learn and understand them, paying attention to what frustrates them, what bothers them, what also makes them happy. Because everybody not going to be happy all day. So you got to pay attention to the negatives and the positive, and you can use those things. You can always turn the positive into the negative. I always tell my daughter there's always something good that comes from something bad. Now that switches your mind from thinking bad or keeping your mind on the bad when something bad happens. That helps you seek and look for something good. How can I pull the good out this thing? Something is bad, but I'm going to point out the bad, but let me look for the good even inside of that bad. How can I pull some good out? and give it to you. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to complaining, man, I hope y'all understand now that complaining is not a bad thing. It's how you see it. You got to be mature to see complaining as a good thing. And to be honest, you need to see other things as good things too. We need to see good inside the bad, man, and try to pull it out, right? Again, complaining helps relationships. Trust what I'm telling you. Stop seeing it as complaining. See it as an opportunity. See it as somebody coming to you with what's frustrating them, what's bothering them, and they're actually coming to you about it because they love you. They don't have to come to you about it, but they coming to you for a need. Love provides a need. Love is not visible without a need. If there is not a need there, love is not visible. So when somebody is needing something from you, right, provide that need with love. So listen to complaining as an answer to a test, man. As this person telling you what love is to them, man, just take it. Like, all right, I got it. And give it right back. You feel me? So I hope y'all understand now. I hope this is going to bless y'all. I hope this is going to bless y'all relationships. Complaining helps relationships. Stop seeing it as a bad thing. See it as a good thing. And I guarantee it's going to bless y'all for the rest of y'all life. And I love y'all. I'm going to get at y'all when I get at y'all.